Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the daily market analysis session. I hope you are all having a wonderful day. Right, I'm gonna start first off by answering some of the questions. I think it's gonna be a bit, it's a bit of a challenge after attending the course and you still don't understand the wave count. And one of the students that's currently attending the course sent me a message with a few of the questions that he had regarding the course and his level of understanding after the course. So I just want to go through that so for everybody's understanding. While I'm looking at that, what we're going to look at today, we're going to be looking at all the US dollar pairs again. We're going to scan through them and identify potential trade setups. We're going to scan through the pound, the yen pairs, and the commodities, so we can try and identify some trades there. Okay, so some of the questions was that he was saying that he is still not able to identify the wave counts, and when I'm doing the analysis, I think this may apply to a number of subscribers that have not necessarily attended the course. So for example, this was an interesting question which I think applies to everyone. So you will see me here during the webinars counting the waves going 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. So here the question or the comment was that it's like how did he simply decide that it was going to be 1, 2, 3 or it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Okay, so I do not simply decide that it's going to be 1, 2, 3 or it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or it's going to be ABC. That is based on the rules and guideline of the Elliott wave theory. So each and every structure has got its own characteristics, it's got its own rules and guidelines. So for example, if we're talking about a flat correction, a simple regular flat, it's a bit of an education here. If we're talking about a simple regular flat, it's an ABC move, right? It's an ABC structure. This is an ABC structure, it's a three-wave structure. Okay, where does this come from? So for example, you will be coming from the top there with a swing and then you start correcting with this ABC structure. How do I decide that it's going to be an ABC structure? I don't decide, the structure tells me. So if this is a 1, 2, 3 here, it's a 1, 2, 3 there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 3, 3, 5 structure. So when I look at this, then this is going to have to be an A with 3 waves. You can only find it on a flat correction. B will always be 3 waves. You will never find a C with anything less than 3 waves. So I do not decide whether it's going to be a 3 or ABC 535. The structure tells me, and I identify the structure as I see it. Okay, so for example, if this one was still a flat correction, just like this 1, 2, 3, and then you find that here it was like this, it's got 3 waves, and I've drawn it inverted. Let's do it exactly the same way. So we've got A, B, C here, and the very same structure has got an internal subdivision of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but then here we're supposed to be a C becomes another 3 waves. Again, I don't decide. The structure tells me this is a 3, 3, 3 structure. So that means it's a 3 waves there, that's a W. It's a 3 waves there, it's an X. It's a 3 waves there, it's a Y. That's because of the internal structure. That is the characteristics of this one. So if you have not attended the course, if you've not learned the Elliott wave theory, you may have a challenge understanding when I'm doing counting the 3 waves or the 5-wave move. So you'll find here, I'll definitely label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this piece because that is a C wave. It can also be a diagonal, but that's all the rules and the guideline of the Elliott wave theory. So if you're still struggling with that, you may need to attend the course, go through the rules and the guidelines for that. All right. So that will really help you if you want to understand the structures clearly. So you need to understand when I'm doing the analysis here as well. All right, so let's start with today's analysis. I'm going to start with the pound pairs, not with the pound pairs, with the US dollar pairs. Okay, I see that pound US dollar is making this move here. It's making a corrective structure. Let's show it on the 4-hour first with the structure switched off, with the labeling switched off. This is what we're looking at on the pound US dollar. We've got a move here. We see the 3 waves down here. We see the 3 waves up there. We see the 3 waves down here. Okay, Again, we see the rise here, which we forecasted that there was going to be a rise here, and the target was that it's going to rise up to this point. What is it doing now? It looks like we're getting another corrective structure that's confirming that this rise is still going to continue here, and it's eventually going to make this structure. Now, have I decided that this was going to be a 1, 2, 3? No, the structure is telling us so. How is it telling us? It's because we see a pulsing move here. Now, if I have to go in detail so you can see what I see, this is 1, 2, 3 waves coming down. Now here is a corrective structure. It's a little bit complex, and that's where you also need to be able to identify these kind of structures. This is a complex correction. You see there's a regular flat in the middle, and the structure is basically a 1, a 2, a 3. So you see you've got 3 down, you've got 3 back. Now, if this is 3 waves down, we are going to label it definitely WXY. The people degree will be a WXY structure. Okay, but what is the purple correction? Is correcting the red. What should come after the purple? The red should come. So that is why we focused it before this rise that there was going to be a red move coming here. Okay, and that red move, we're focusing that it was going to come break the previous high there. But if it doesn't get there and starts turning before reaching there, will that change the structure? Not at all. It will just change the type of correction that we're going to have. It's going to make a running flat. But let's check with the stock and the RSI and see if we still have any continuation to the top here, because this is not confirming anything as yet. But let's see if we're going to continue to the upside. When we look at this, the stock has resetted at the top. Okay, it has gone on to the top at this point here. All right, now what we want, there's no confirmation for any upside here. The stock rather, the RSI rather, is still above 50. So what we want to see is this correction crawling like that, this resetting at the bottom. Now the RSI will need it to remain above 50 if we're going to have any move, any continuation to the upside on this pair. Okay, so that is the update on this pair. Now, talking about the update, let's talk about the charts on the website. So what you will see on the website is that I'm not going to update the charts if there is no change in the analysis. All right, let me give you an example. Again, the same trader was asking the question, how often do I identify the charts? Do I update the charts? So I update these charts daily. Okay, not the daily webinar. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for yen pairs. Let's go to the yen pairs. Let's go to the yen pairs. Let's look at CAD yen. I will do a small video and I'll attach it on the site on how to use the pair, how to use the site, and how to use the wave counts as well. So if you look at CAD JPY on the 1 hour, you will see that there was a setup here for this to come down here and this to come up to this level. That was on the, let's check the date, that was on the 7th of February. That was the last update. What is today? Today is the 17th, that's 10 days later. But what has happened since I posted this? What has happened is that the price has come down here. It has moved up here. Now, I will only update this if there are any changes. There hasn't been any changes since we forecasted. So the 2 moves that we forecasted, 1, 2, have played out. There's no need for me to come and update the charts. Okay, because the only thing I'm going to do is price would have been here, then I'm just going to put in a line here, which doesn't serve any purpose. And in any case, it's good to track where this was coming from when it's like this. So I will not update it as it is still playing out like that. Okay, so while we are on that, let's just check on CAD yen. I know we're still looking at the US dollar peso. I just want to explain the current setup on CAD yen. So CAD yen, you saw that analysis, and also on Sunday we focused that this was going to perhaps go into the blue box. So we had this setup, it made the move to the downside, it has made this move. So on Sunday, yesterday, I said this is not going to come down. As much as we're going to an impulsive move and the move to the downside, the stock and the RSI were not confirming that analysis. Okay, so we still need to see if we can push to the blue box. there's a likelihood that this is making this kind of move. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, this 1, 2, and the 3. And if this takes into the blue box, you're gonna have a big move coming to the downside like that. And when I see this breaking above this and invalidating the structure, I'm going to update it. All right, so for now, it should be all be good. Okay. Right, so it should be okay for now. So only when this structure is invalidated, then we'll update this setup. So this one can be doing this, can make a move to the upside like that, making this one of this one of those high probable structures. And you can see that the correction of the second A, let's do this. So those who've attended the course know that if this is a three-wave move like this is an A, right? And again, this is another A. If this A starts the correction at the comma 618, it is very likely, very high probable that this is going to shoot into the blue box. And from the blue box, we're going to expect a move down like this one. Where does this even come from? Where is that move coming from? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in yellow is actually going to complete the A purple like that, and this will be the B, and this will be the C that we're looking at here. Okay, so that's what we're looking at there. Now let's run through the rest of the pairs, the rest of the US dollar pairs. US dollar, Euro US dollar, we're still looking for further downside there. Small correction and continuation to the downside. You can see the stock is already resetting. The flag is in the making here. The correction is in the making. Let's identify the correction on the 4-hour. We've made a move up. We're going to make a move down. This structure, this one at the top, this one remains below 50. Then if you get that, it's going to come down. But this has already made a big move to the downside. Maybe a bit tricky to sell it from there. So that is a euro. You saw yesterday why we're expecting euro to come down to the lower boundary. You can check that video from yesterday. Pound CAD currently correcting with a 3-wave move. As you can see, there was the forecast here. Also, this will not change because this is a move to the downside. This is a correction. We're expecting it to make a C down here. Okay, that is Audi US dollar CAD, and then Audi US dollar. Now let's have a look at Audi US dollar. Audi US dollar structurally making this correction after this impulse. Remember, we're looking at this to possibly make this X wave. That means the X wave is going to be a 1. This is an impulse. So that's another impulse. Only this yellow starts the correction. So let's draw that one in green. So if that is the case, and we're going to make this a pulsing move here, a correction move here, we're possibly going to take the top here. And if we take the top here, just 1 second, which is for that. Right, so this is what we're looking at here, but has this confirmed to the upside? We can see the structure and what we're focusing on the structure. Looks like it has confirmed. It's confirming, but the structure itself has not broken above this. So we cannot take this. Even if you take this, you need to move it to break even when it gets to this level, because from that level, we are going to get this to come down here. We're going to be expecting this move. And if this is the move that we're expecting, that means the structure or the sequence will be incomplete because we started with the yellow, then the purple corrected. We're going to expect the yellow to continue before we come down. So that means our X is going to be very extended and we're going to stay in this range for a while. Okay, so now what you need to do, this is not even a trade. You may get confirmation. This one can be making a move to the upside. I don't think this is a reversal yet. I think at this level, we're going to come back down here. Okay, but it doesn't matter what I think. The thing is, if this is going to start making a move to the downside, there is no explainable structure that it can form. So that's why I'm expecting this one to make this move to the downside first. Okay, so that is the Audi US dollar. Now, is there a trade set up there? As much as the indicator may tell you, if this breaks to the upside, but there is no risk, a good risk to reward ratio trade. Okay, so that is Audi US dollar. US dollar chief, okay, US dollar chief, we're focusing that this was going to turn at current levels, that is this one here. You can see that it's breaking higher than that. Are we going to start dropping? We see divergence, pretty strong divergence, so that is likely to happen. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is a wave 5. There's likelihood that this one starts making a move to the downside here. That is our US dollar chief. Now, when we start making a move, when we start seeing something like this and a confirmation here, then we start looking for a trade setup. Okay, so it's not just going to be a setup, but just because we know the direction, because it could be going in a certain direction correctively, and you don't want to be trading correctively. For example, if this is a move, if you're looking to trade this one is actually not too bad, but if you're looking to trade this move here, you don't want to trade a move that does this, because this just takes you through an emotional roller coaster. You don't want to trade a move like this, even if you know that you're going to have a pullback. It's just take you through an emotional roller coaster. You want to trade these kind of moves. You want to trade these kind of moves. You want these moves, the pulsing moves. Those are the kind of moves that determine trade setups. Okay. Otherwise, if there's no such a move, we're not going to post it as a setup. And we're not going to try and push volumes of setups into the website, because that's just going to create unnecessary losses. Okay, so high probable setups, when they play out, we'll post them. For now, if there are no setups, you can just go through. In any case, each and every pair has forecasted direction. So that is forecasting. We've got forecast for that, even though it is not necessarily a trade that we can actually take. Okay, so let's look at US dollar ZAR confirming for one more up here. So that's going to push higher back to this level. We don't know if it's going to make a move this like that, but you can take a trade here, move to break even here. Must be specific like that when you trade, and here you make a move, a stop loss at just below the flag. Okay, so the strategy is specific, but you don't want to be. I don't want to be taking this trade here, especially not after this big move here. Trade I'll be interested is if this one had made a structure like that, has made a move back here, and is now about to push higher with a corrective structure, then I'll be interested in this move. But otherwise, as it is, not a very interesting move. Right, I think I skipped New Zealand US dollar. New Zealand US dollar looks to be making a wave 4 there, started with an impulse. This wave 4 looks like we're going to make a move to the downside, make a regular flat. Now, is this a trade? Also, you can look at this one because it's on a downtrend. Okay, we're on a downtrend. You can look at that one, although the risk to reward ratio may not be so good, because this can just come and take the low here and then bounce. Okay, there's a question there. You are only checking 4 hours. Should we assume the same analysis on the 1 hour and the daily? No, you have to go to the daily and see. I'm assuming that you would have watched yesterday's video as well for the higher time frame. So I'm not going to go through the whole structure for all the pairs. I'm just showing the lower degree. I'm assuming that you understand, especially that you that have attended the course, that you understand the higher degree structure. I'm assuming that you understand the higher degree structure. So Dowdy is asking a question. Let me see if I can answer it now or at the end of the session. Today I have one question. I saw you label WXY in several pairs. For example, Audi US dollar. I've sent you a direct message as part of it, and also Euro US dollar. But in all of the labeling, why it seems too impulsive to be WXY? I hope you can clarify it at the end of the session. We can have a look at it. Okay, you can have a look. I'll have a look. Just remind me at the end. Okay, so this is a New Zealand US dollar. We're looking at this one to be an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, possibly looking for this 4 to be a regular flat. Now, let's look at the stock and the RSI. Stock is telling us that this has resetted here. The RSI is slightly above 50. So this may be making a move like this. So your wave 4 can be something like this, a zigzag. So let's see if you get confirmation here. If you get this one starting to break to the upside, structurally, we should see this one breaking to the upside if that's going to make that move. That is New Zealand US dollar. CAD is the one that we spoke about earlier. Are we going to have a setup for downside here? We're looking for this one to be one of those high probable setups that goes into the blue box and then drop with a big move. Right, silver. Now silver, we're looking for this structure here. The structure that I'm looking at on silver. Silver is not on the site yet. It will be updated, still to be updated. So we're looking at this structure here. 3-wave move. This is ABC because it's 535. Okay. Now you have this one here as well. A pulsing move, a correction, and so this one may not be like that. So we've got a pulsing move in red. Okay, we've got another pulsing move in purple. But this correction is a little bit small, so it looks like it's correcting only the purple. So we're going to have it something like that. So we're looking for this one to drop from current levels to complete the purple degree. So let's watch that purple degree to come down like that. When we start breaking lower to this level, then we're going to expect the red degree to complete. Now, what will that do? That will be a WXY structure. We expect that the Y will be another structure, another 3-wave structure. Okay? All right. So let's carry on. That is XAU, US dollar. That's called US dollar. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a setup here. Let's look at the stock and the RSI and see if there's any confirmation here. If you wanted to, you could label this lower degree ABC. ABC. I see Abby's got a question. I think let's reserve all the questions to the end of the session. Okay, I'll answer all the questions then. Right. So this is AB and a C there. Okay. Good. So that is gold, and that is silver, and then gold. So gold, we wanted it to push a little bit higher. Why do I want the gold to push a little bit higher? I'm looking for this double XY structure, double combination. It's a little bit far, but it looks like it's going to crawl up to that level before coming down. In the overall structure that we're looking at now on gold, I had to remove this yesterday. So we're looking for it to go into the blue box, reverse from there. All right, so that is gold. Let's run through all the yen pairs. We'll start with the pound yen. Now, pound yen, the initial setup here was that this is going to be a 5-wave move to the downside. It's a 5-wave move. This one being a corrective structure. Now, if this is 5, C has to be 5 waves. C has to be 5 waves diagonal. If that's going to make, if it's going to have to be an ABC structure, C has to be 5 waves. But at this stage, we don't see the 5 waves in wave C. So let me just switch off here. Let's just switch off here and figure out what the C wave looks like. Right, so we have got this here, correcting here. So we could have something like this. So at this point here, we've got this one coming down. It's 5 waves, and I'm counting that as 1, 2, 3, and a deep wave 4, and then a 5. But otherwise, we may be wrong with that analysis, and the actual structure is 5 waves, sorry, 3 waves like that. But let's figure this one out here and see what we're getting. So we could be having also, if that is 5 waves, let's look at this as a 5-wave structure, right? It's 5 waves. Now, if this move to the upside is 3 waves in red, assuming that there's a complex correction there, making this 1, 2, 3-wave structure like that, there is a likelihood that you have got this structure coming down here in 5 waves as well. Is this 5 waves? I can't see exactly where that one stopped. Okay, so it can be 5 waves, so that one has stopped at that level. So this one starts here actually. So we've got here as 3 waves in purple. This is 1, 2, 3. Another 1, 2, 3 in purple. What should we expect? That the purple will come down. And if the purple comes down, we're gonna expect the red degree to make this move. Once this move is complete, then we expect the yellow wave to make this move. So then that's what you're gonna have is ABC structure although we're expecting a bit more of a complex P correction, that is as close as you can get to the correct analysis there. Okay, so that is 5 waves down on A and 3 waves back in red and 5 waves down in yellow. So let's see what happens here. So we're going to look at this one to start pushing higher. Let's see if the stock and the RSI confirm that we're going to have a move to the upside. Because here, structurally, there's a possibility that we do this, even though it's going to be the same structure. Stock at the top has not resetted. RSI is just above 50. So it's in the middle of the nowhere, no setup there. We just need to see continuation to the upside. Audi US dollar. Now, Audi US dollar, we looked at this one to have made an expanding flat yesterday. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to start seeing this one starting to materialize. We need to watch that. Let's look at the stock and the RSI. The RSI is above 50. The stock is confirming. Looks like the structure is confirming. So let's go to the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, we've got this as an expanding flat like that. After the expanding flat, we had an impulsive move. Now we're having the corrective structure. So you can take this one, move it to break even at this level. You can take it now, move to break even at this level. That is the level where this is equals to that. Okay, so that is what you're going to look at structurally. Let's look at the stock and the RSI as well. Okay, so stock at the top, so no new trade. Even though structure is confirming, the stock is at the top. You want the stock to come down to the bottom. Stock confirmed. It's actually confirmed, but we want it to reset again. We want it to reset again there. Okay. RSI is above 50, that's fine, but we want the stock to reset. Although you can assume that this has resetted here, you can take the trade from here and take it up back to that level. That is US dollar yen. Euro yen, our current trade setup, you can look at that. Stock is right at the top. So this is the nice thing about continuation patterns when you've got the trend right. Is resetting at the top. Stock is very close to less than 50. Let's see, when this structure confirms further downside, you'll see that the stock and the RSI will confirm exactly the same thing. It's the same way that this confirmed here, and the stock and the RSI just confirmed that this was going to carry on to the downside. So there could be potentially another move to the downside here. That is Euro Yen. Let's run through the rest of the Euro Yen pairs. Chief Yen. Now Chief Yen also, the setup here on Chief Yen on the 4 hour was that this was going to break lower. We're currently breaking lower, so I'm not going to make an update on a pair that is currently doing what we said it's going to do. We leave it until something changes. Okay, as you can see, we've got that move. This one could be correcting here on the trend line, and then we start coming down like that. That is Chief JPY. Audi Yen. Audi Yen, we need to get confirmation for downside here. So we've got a move up. The whole thing can possibly be a B. So we've got 1. Can this be the move, corrective move here? That's going to do that. 1 up and then downside. We have to watch that. And if that makes downside, the structure will be that. It's identified in different colors. We can see this 1, 2, 3 wave structure, people like that. And we can see that this is another 3 wave structure. Okay. So it's a clear ABC structure. So we need to watch here if we're gonna get confirmation for downside. We are at the top, still above 50, so we can't sell this. There's no buy setup either. Okay. That is Audi yen, New Zealand yen. New Zealand yen structurally telling us that it's going to make a move to the upside. So this wave 4 may still continue higher. We've come down here in 3 waves. Look at this here. It's a possibility for this to happen. But that's not going to be the reversal. It's just going to be an extended correction. That is New Zealand yen. Let's look at CAD yen. We already looked at. I gave an example with CAD yen that we want, as much as we wanted to push high, we wanted to come down. Indicators still showing that we still have some time to go to the top before coming down. Right. Silver and gold. Silver, look out for a trade here to the downside. Same size as this. Okay, so we are gonna wait for a setup here on silver. Must post this one actually as a trade setup. We're gonna be waiting for this one to do this. Let's keep an eye. Looking very interesting, silver. Let's look at gold now. Now gold, we're looking for it to continue higher. Let's see if the stock and the RSI are confirming that upside move. This looks like there's going to be continuation. The structure is like that. You want the flag to close above that. If it does, this one is already resetted at the bottom. This is lingering around above the 50%, above the 50 of the RSI. So confirmation there, that will lead us to the blue box and then downside. Now we can run through the pound pairs, pound chief, correction, expanding, and continuation to the upside on pound chief. Pound Audi. So pound Audi, there's a similar structure that has happened on pound Audi that we've seen on pound CAD. Now you see here we've got a pound Audi pulsing move like that, and then 1, 2, 3 like that with a V pattern here. Now this structure looks familiar, and if you trade every day, you'll be able to see these structures. I'm gonna bring the next pair here. That has got this, that had a similar structure that we traded it a little bit different to what we had forecasted. So I'm gonna put on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, pound CAD. So pound CAD, if you remember, in one of the weekly webinars and the daily webinars, this is what we looked at. Let's get the yellow color out. And you see this. And I want to cut pound Audi. No, pound CAD. I'm gonna cut it like that. Let's cut it here. Bar replay. Let's cut it there. Now do you see something familiar there? 2 different pairs, 2 different times. And this happens quite often, very often. Okay, here it has made what looked like a flat correction. On the right hand side, it's made a bit of a expanding flat. Right, so what was the analysis on pound CAD? On pound CAD, the one on the right hand side, this was the analysis. We saw this, I've cut it out here so we can focus them both at the same time. And so here on the left hand side, you'll see pound Audi. What we traded or what we forecasted on pound Audi, what we forecasted on pound Audi was this one, pound CAD rather, was that this was a move to the upside, a move down, and it was making this move. When we got to this level, the natural thing to expect was that this was going to make a move to the downside. And we're going to be in the money. Okay, but how did this play out? Instead of coming down, it made this corrective structure and continued higher. Okay, now what are we expecting here? It is now a different pair at a different time, but the structure is still the same. It's a move down, it's a move up. Let's get the move up in a different color. So the move up is in red, correction, and then a move to the upside. This is now making this corrective structure. This has made the zigzag structure. Now you'll be looking for this one to push slightly higher, the same way that pound CAD rallied to the top. So let's play that, just see what we expect. Okay, looks like it was only on my side. Okay, that's fine. Let's just get the replay off. On. So this is what we're expecting here. We're expecting that it's going to make a move like that, make a move up. It's developing an entry for downside there. Right, so that's what we have. So we're going to be expecting the same thing you see here. Instead of coming down, even though the analysis was 1, 2, 3, we were supposed to come down. The stock and the RSI, what stopped us from trading this? We actually traded this move to the upside. So what stopped us from trading this one to the downside or selling it? That's because the stock and the RSI were not in agreement with our forecast, and that is how you get out of the trades, so the wrong trade. So if you look at this one here, everything was confirming the upside, but we were looking for downside based on the structure. So you don't want to have only a single tool. You want to have more than one tool to analyze this. And imagine if you had lost this, and if you can save yourself from a lot of these trades, how much your trading is going to improve. Okay, so that is pound CAD and pound Audi, and the expectation here is that this is going to make a correction like that, and then upside. Those are the pound pairs. Euro. Euro is doing the same thing. Euro, pound New Zealand. And if that confirms further upside, we're going to have something like this: 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to have this one coming down in red and then upside. Right, that is pound New Zealand. Okay, let's run through the cryptocurrencies. We are currently busy with pullbacks. The rest of the pairs will be updated on the site by the end of the day. Now let's look at oil. Let's watch out for oil for downside. Let's go back to one screen. Oil on the 60-minute, let's show the labeling. On the 60-minute, we're looking for this one to come down. Let's get the oil to open. It's not open as yet. Oil, we're looking for it to start coming down after it has made a pulse move, correction, and a pulse move. Now we want to see if after the ABC, we're going to make the last wave 4 and then upside. Let me show you all the waves on this swing. So we're currently in the green wave 4. Green wave 4, playing out as a regular flat. Now what we want from oil is for it to come down to complete the wave 3 in blue and then upside correction like that. There we go. That is oil. And Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptos, it's nothing but pullbacks. Now again, we are not going to update this as long as nothing has changed. As you can see, Bitcoin, nothing has changed. Ethereum, nothing has changed. Litecoin, nothing has changed. Those blue lines were there before the structure played out, and Ripple as well. Okay. What am I missing here that we can look at? Now you can bring out your question, the questions that you had now, so we can have a look at them. And just see if there's anything we can look at before we go. Euro Chief. We spoke about this one being in the blue box. In the blue box, coming up, coming down with divergence there. Now we've got this one coming down and it's made a pulsing move to the upside. That's good because now we see the RSI is above. The RSI is above 50. The stock has resetted at the bottom, telling you that this move has ended. Now you want the stock to confirm this move for upside. Let's look at that, make it clear, make it bigger. Let's take off the blue box there. Looks too big on this time frame. Must not take it out, I must just make it invisible. Let's take it off. I don't want to sit on the daily. I just want to sit on the, not even on the 1 hour. Let's take it off. Good, so we've got that. Now we've got a nice impulse here. Is this the reversal that we've been waiting for? We need the structure to confirm. We need the stock and the RSI to confirm. So this pair, since the top there, we have been looking for it to end this wave. We've been looking for it to finish this last leg. And if I get out of the screen and just show you what the structure looks like on this one, you can also check the weekly view. You can check the weekly view on the website as well. This Euro Chief, I go to the, let's take out the big bar replay. Let's go to the weekly. So the weekly on this is quite simple. When you look at this, it's simply a move down, correction, and a move down. So that means you've got 3 down, 3 back, 1, 2, 3. That is how Chief is like. So now we're looking for this one to have made the blue box that is equal legs of these two. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at. So we're going to look only for upside once we've got this move and a corrective structure in the lower degree. Okay, so that is a Euro Chief. Okay, so here's the question. Do we have 5 waves in oil for the C? Yes, we do, Robert. Yes, we do. For the C on the 1 hour on oil. So the question is, do we have 5 waves in oil for the C? Yes, it seems like we have. Let's go to the 1 hour on oil. You'll see the 5 waves going towards to complete the. There is the 5 waves in purple that you see. Lower degree of the bigger one in 1, 2, 3, 4, which is this one that we're about to look at. That's the structure. Let's see if we've got divergence there. We've got some divergence. We've got the stock resetting to the downside. Let's watch on this one. Right. Yes, Eurochief is not updated yet on the website. So all the pairs that you can open, they are not loaded as yet. So they will still be loaded. Okay. Just give me a bit of time, it will all be done. All right, so what else? Tendai is still struggling to log in with the website. Send me a direct message on Slack. I have not checked Slack as yet. So as soon as I check, we will address those issues. I have question on Litecoin labeling. You shown on Sunday chat and question attached Litecoin. You can attach your chat. Where can I find your chat, Keith? Abby says, I said I trade long term. How do you position yourself for this? So let me give you an example of the current trade that we're looking at, what long term means. So it means just holding the trade up until the setup is complete. For example, Euro Yen, which is our setup. Remember, Euro Yen, we entered here in the 1 hour, right? This was the 1 hour entry. Would one call this one a long-term setup? I think you can actually call this one a long-term setup, because when you look at this, it looks like it's quite a significant move, but you've only entered it in the 1 hour. You are the target on this one. Let's go to the day 4 hour daily. Let's try to the daily. The target here is this one to the bottom. So it's still very far. So that means there's still a lot of money in this trade. So that means there's still a lot of money in this trade. Some took the trade here, some took the trade at the top here. Okay. Support and resistance traders would have thought this one is coming to the upside. So this is your setup. You're gonna hold it up until it confirms or you move it to break even. And that is how you position yourself. Try to get into the lower time frame. Your targets must be in the higher time frame. As you can see, my target is in the daily. But why is this my target? That's because it's a structural level. Likely, if this one comes with the impulse, it's going to correct here and it's going to break the low here. But if it comes down correctively, starts doing this, then that will be the structure that we will look at there. That is Euro Yen. So that will be the swing that we're looking at up to down that level. Let me scroll through the other questions. Keith, still waiting for your chat. I'm struggling to log into the website. Okay, so we can address that later. 5 waves in oil, yes. Eurochief, yeah, have not updated yet. Gerard, any chance to look at Audi New Zealand that started to move down? Set up, okay. RSI stock. This one is updated on the website. The daily, I think all time frames have been updated, so you can check it there. Gerard. So Gerard is talking about Audi New Zealand. Let's just check Audi New Zealand. You'll find it labeled there. So you'll find it on the cross pairs. The cross pairs means, I know there are other cross pairs that I don't include here under this list. Cross pairs means pairs that don't include the US dollar. So this is one of those cross pairs here. So Audi New Zealand, you can go through it in detail from the weekly all the way down to the lowest time frame. Seems like it's not opening here, so I'll have to look at it. I'll have to update the links, guys. Sorry for that. Still one of those teething problems. So I think also another reason the website is working a bit slow is because somebody is still working on it as we speak. Okay. Right. So I will update it. You can just look for it there. Yeah, I know that the crosses are not opening, but Audi New Zealand specifically was updated. The rest are not loaded as yet. Specific Audi New Zealand was not loaded, but the rest are updated. Anybody still with a question? I attached chat under Litecoin channel, already posted in Litecoin. Thank you, Keith. I'm gonna have a look at it now. Let's open it under Litecoin. Is it possible to send the updated charts to the website on Slack? Not all of them, that's a lot of work. That is a lot of work. That's why I gave members options. whether you want to remain on Slack, to the website. The work on the website and on Slack, it's just a lot, guys. It's just overwhelming. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm looking for Keith's chart on Slack, on the Litecoin. So for those that are only on the website, if you want to share your chart, you can just post the link during the webinar. We're going to find a way where we're going to find a place where you can dump your charts for analysis during the daily webinars. So if you're going to be absent during the daily webinar, and you want your chart to be looked at. Let's look at Litecoin. Here we go. Right, so that is Litecoin. I want to one by Keith. Okay, you're looking for the impulse, you're looking for that one to be 1, 2. I'm a bit lost with 1, 2, and 1, 2 there, Keith. Why do you have 1, 2, 1, 2 in the same degree? I'm lost there. If you look at this here, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has broken the rules. Your wave 3 is shorter than the rest of the waves. Your wave 3 is shorter than wave 1 and 5, which is not allowed. It's against the rules. So you need to look at this labeling here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've broken the rules there. I still don't get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There you can please rectify or make me understand maybe what you're looking at with it, or if you've made a typo of some sort. Because if this was a diagonal, also 1, 2, 3, the wave 4 must come within the territory of wave 2, and it is not. So you can't look at it as a diagonal, you can look at it rather as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Any other questions? The first one to Isio. All right. I'm waiting for you to respond there. The first set of 1, 2 is what you've drawn. What I've drawn, that maybe that's, let me have a look. Maybe I've made a mistake if I drew it like that. Let's have a look on the cryptocurrencies. Litecoin. So I've got one. I've got this one as a wave 2. I've got one in lower degree. This is my structure. I've got 3, 4, and a 5. That's my structure. Then we've got a pullback in wave 3. That's going to be a red degree. We're still looking at this one as a red degree. That's my structure. And lastly, for wave 5, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 that ends with a diagonal. That's why we're looking for this one to drop. 1, 2, 3. These wave counts are absolutely critical if you understand the structure. That's why we're looking at Litecoin to have pulled back. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Keith. You happy? It's not the same degree. It's not the same degree. The red is bigger than the yellow. If I have to, let me just fix the degrees correctly here. Going up here would actually be the red degree. Going up here would be the red degree. Same as 1. I registered the site already, but still can't access. Like I said, if you just need to send me a message on Slack indicating when you joined us, and then I will add you to the site. I've not done that over the weekend. We'll do it during the week. If you've sent me a message on Slack, I will be doing the migration again this week. Right. Gold, we already covered gold. You can look at gold. You can just look at the video again. We've already looked at gold. Litecoin is going deeper than 255. That's fine. So here we have not focused on the exact area where it's going to reverse. When we have got this set up correct and it's done, we're going to focus or project the blue box. But for now, we just assume we're going to have a correction. We're going to have a correction of a certain size. So we have not focused on this one with pips. So the next update will come with pips. Can we have access to Slack? I mean the new ones. We are actually going to dissolve Slack. So the idea is to dissolve everybody from Slack after the mentorship period is completed. So for the new members, we're not going to be adding you to Slack. So what I'm going to try to do, so that people can be able to share chat, I'm going to try and open a new workspace for dumping charts that we'll discuss during the daily webinar. If we're going to be discussing the chart in absentia. Okay, what we're going to do. Analysis on you do in this video is the same as on the website, and you don't do any additional analysis for the website. No, so the video is the same for both Slack and the website. The additionals are obviously the pairs. On the website, we've got weekly, daily, 4 hour, and 1 hour wave count for each and every pair that we analyze. So on Slack, I share some pairs, but it's impossible for me to be able to manage the website and Slack as well. So website is comprehensive, got everything. All the time frames, weekly, daily, 4 hour, and 1 hour. Okay, guys, I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day. Cheers, bye-bye. On record, the course continues tonight at 8:30 South African time. That is 18:30 GMT. That is the last day of the course tonight, 18:30 GMT, 20:30 South African time. Last day of the course today. Okay.